Hi everybody. With elaborate insights into the theoretical perspectives of early learning development and a detailed list of the role of facilitator in adopting its implications, and after knowing about the core objectives and principles of ECCE, let us get into the direct aspects of ECCE, namely program planning and practice, pedagogical techniques and strategies, assessment, and effective transition of the young child. The previous module on the objectives and principles of ECCE served as a prelude for the ECCE facilitators. But to carry out their own roles and responsibilities effectively, every facilitator should be knowledgeable in identifying certain crucial issues of ECCE in India to be addressed at both the policy level and at the curricular level. Identification of these issues and evolving solutions would certainly strengthen the holistic development of children. Hope this module would lead you to this sort of analysis. The next issue is about the increasing the coverage and the quality compromise. The statistics makes it vivid in portraying the rapid expansion of ICDS throughout the country. But the process of expansion at a faster rate has for sure compromised on its quality. A study by the World Bank in the year 2005 has identified 3 mismatches in the implementation of ICDS, and all these 3 centralized approach of ECCE. Realizing the diversity of the nation, the process of formulating and implementing the ECCE program need to be contextualized within the specified framework of ECCE. In other words, the planning and implementation have to be decentralized. Traditionally, the period of early childhood years were considered to be the period of laying foundation towards inculcation of basic values and social skills in them through the child rearing mode referred to as indulgence. Child rearing was a shared responsibility. The learning mechanism of the child was completely informal and was best done by stories and games involving the whole family. However, an increase in women's workforce and modernization, the overall social structure and practices had changed completely. The family structure of joint family had seen a drastic decline, and the shared responsibility of child rearing has got shifted to sole responsibility of the parents with moderation mode of child rearing. Further, with women in the workforce, the sole responsibility of upbringing the children had a paradigm shift to delegated responsibility. The delegated responsibility varied from paid caregivers to loaded responsibility of siblings. Hence, the informal childhood care education became extinct and the formal early childhood care setting was introduced in India during the later half of the 19th century. With inputs from the early pioneer of ECCE in India, namely Gujabai, Dharabai, Montessori and Gandhiji, the concept of pre-basic education gained a widespread popularity even to the rural parts of the country. The first government initiative on ECCE was Central Social Welfare Board in 1953. Following the initiative of CSWB, other federally supported schemes such as the Reproductive Child Health Scheme, Integrated Child Development Services, and preschool education provision through primary education programs were initiated. As a result, remarkable progress had been observed in the field of ECCE. This part of the module gives you a list of ECCE services in India provided at public, private and NGOs in a nutshell. Public ECCE services. ECCE services as governmental initiatives were categorized within the umbrella of Ministry of Women and Child Development and primary elementary education programs. Now let us have a look into ECCE under MWCD. The first initiative of MWCD on ECCE was the implementation of Integrated Child Developmental Services in the year 1976, focusing on 3 major aspects, namely health, nutrition and preschool education. The second initiative was Early Childhood Education Scheme in the year 1982. However, this scheme was later withdrawn. On the other hand, governmental assistance was provided to voluntary organizations for running creches for children of working and ailing mothers. This assistance was implemented through Indian Council of Child Welfare and Bharatiya Adhim Jati Seva Sangh. As a fourth initiative, government put into operation a program called National Creche Fund in the year 1994. This program served the community through 5 wings, namely daycare facilities, supplementary nutrition, immunization, medical and healthcare, and recreation services. As the need of the community still prevailed, the third and the fourth initiative of the government was merged together and evolved as Rajiv Gandhi National Creche Scheme for Working Mothers. This scheme reached the community at 5 levels such as sleeping facilities, healthcare, supplementary nutrition, immunization, and preschool education. Now, let us have a look of ECCE under primary elementary education programs. To mainstream the ECCE services with the primary and the elementary education programs, government took certain initiatives. The prominent among them are given to you. First is District Primary Education Program, what is called as DPEP, which is adopted convergent approach through 3 strategies. Relocating ICDS centers to the primary school premises, training ICDS service providers in ECCE, providing play materials for children. The second was by Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, which was a major initiative aimed at universalization of elementary education in a time-bound manner as mandated by the Constitution of India, making free and compulsory education to children of 6 to 14 years a fundamental right. The third was by Mahila Samkhya, one another initiative by the Government of India that got launched in 1988 in pursuance of the goals of new education policy with maximum focus onto the rural areas. The fourth is preschools attached to primary schools. Government of India also took measures to attach preschools to the existing primary schools as a convergent model of ECCE. Now, about the private initiatives on ECCE. As the public initiatives on ECCE by and large catering to the children of socio-economically disadvantaged communities, the private initiatives, that is also referred as profit-making initiatives, works for these socially and economically well-off communities. The ECCE services provided by the private initiatives are nursery schools, kindergartens, and pre-primary classes in private schools. The third is by the voluntary or NGO as an initiative on ECCE. With all the possible initiatives by the government on ECCE, the problem of reaching out every socially and economically deprived area was overcome by the initiatives taken by voluntary and non-governmental organizations. These organizations do play a significant role in providing education to the vulnerable and special communities such as tribal people and migrant laborers. They render services through creches or ECCE centers, mobile creches, laboratory nursery schools, and religious group preschools. The creches or ECCE centers in many places are run by mobilizing local resources. Mobile creches caters to the migrant community. The Department of Human Development or Child Development of universities have laboratory nursery schools attached to them, and the curriculum of these schools was found to be more innovative and developmentally appropriate. Certain religious group also runs preschools that are found to be competitive to the private run preschools. Hope the first chunk of the video on ECCE concerns is appraise the changing trend and growing demand of ECCE in India. It also has elaborated the objectives and implementation measures of various ECCE providers in India at public, private, and NGO level. Hope to meet you in the second video that would explain the major issues and concerns faced by ECCE in India. Thank you.